As Gary was saying, Sandro, congratulations on the victory.
Thank you.
An amazing bounce back performance from last match. What was the thing you love to see out there with your boys performing the way they did tonight?
Yeah, I would say the most important thing is our basic behavior on the field today, and in our defense behavior, and also to play very simple, very clean, and for sure then also to find the right moment to score. And it was very important to see this big reaction after the last game against New York City. And yeah, I'm very proud. I'm very proud from the whole team. I'm very proud of the whole staff. Especially the last days was not so easy, especially in our building, in our facility. But yeah, we find the right key to come back with our mentality, to come back also to have the focus for the next game. And this was, yeah, it's important that we have then also the feeling for these 3 points today.
We'll go back to Gary.
Forsberg was on the pitch basically for about an hour, but there was a major difference with him on the field. It was a very calming influence out there. How important was that for the team to get back on track and having him on the field for this young crew?
Yeah, for sure, it's very important. As a leadership, he's so important on the field to have this confidence, and also to work hard in our defense behavior, in our defense structure, and to take the responsibility when we have the ball. And I think his last game in the starting lineup was the home game against Orlando City. So I'm not sure, it's 3 months ago. But very important for the young group. But I said to the group directly after the game, New York City, and on Sunday, Monday, it's not only Emil Forsberg now, because he needs also help after this long-term injury, and the whole group was great reaction, and especially Emil Forsberg is very important as a leader and also on the field.
Next we go to Christian. Christian, we can't hear you. Christian, we'll come back to you. Next we go to Voss.
Thank you for the time, Coach. Congratulations on the big 3 points. I just had a bit of a two-parter for you. First, I want to ask you on how important was it for your defense to respond the way that it did? They only conceded a goal off of a penalty, but they stayed very strong throughout the 90 minutes, not really giving away any chances to Toronto. And just how important is it for your bench on the second part to get on the score sheet with Atlanta coming up and knowing that they're going to have to get some minutes?
Yeah, what I said is the basic behavior, especially in our defense, and it starts after the last game when you concede 5 goals and the big mistakes which we have done, and then it's necessary to start the game with the basic behavior and to be focused, everyone on his position, his target, his responsibility. And this is what I said in the press conference before the game. This is the responsibility. This is leading to, first of all, to do your job on your position, to play clean, to defend very strong with the highest intensity. And yeah, we showed this today very well. And now it's good now to have these couple of days for recovery, and then on Saturday is the next game in Atlanta on the road.
We'll go back to Christian. Still can't hear you, Christian. Christian, just chat me your message or your question, and I'll ask it. We'll go to Dan.
2 out of 4 ain't bad if you can hear me.
Yeah.
It's very rare to get 2 penalties in one match. And how happy were you to see not only Forsberg converting his opportunity, but also Lewis Morgan, who hasn't had a goal since the win against Cincinnati back in July?
Yeah, at this point it was after Atlanta. No, which penalty we missed the last? Was it Kansas City or Atlanta? Atlanta. We had also then this topic in our team meeting that first of all Emil and Luis that they have the responsibility then to take the shot by the penalty. And both players took the responsibility, and especially and also for Lewis Morgan to get the feeling to score, then assist, and he's as well a very important player for us with his behavior, with his behavior in our pressing, with his behavior with these deep runs, and it's good that we have these moments then, and also that we scored after 2 penalties.
Next we go to Gary.
You got this win in the bag, of course, on the road, which was very huge for you and your team. But now you got to go there to Atlanta and face a very tough Atlanta team who's also desperate to get themselves in playoff position. How do you see that match coming along? You know, which you have your roster, you know, which with your squad rotation, everything else, especially on that hard turf, of course, over in Atlanta.
Yeah, could be that we have some rotations for Saturday, and we will analyze our game tomorrow in Toronto here in our hotel, and then directly is our travel then directly to Atlanta tomorrow in the afternoon. And this is what we have to prepare now, to 2 days recovery, and then clear focus to be very serious to play on Saturday, to defend very hard. This is what we need against Atlanta. I think they have a chance also to come in the playoffs after the results today, and we have to be ready. We have to be ready. Toronto was the same. It was from Toronto side a must-win game, and we talked before the game about that, and it's the same situation. But we have to be ready with our energy, with our mentality, and then with our basic behavior. And I'm sure then we have the quality also to score, to find our moments in our build-up. And I would say the first 30-35 minutes it was very dominant today in Toronto in our ball possession, and to have some good moments in the final third. Yeah, and I would say it's a clear result today, but it was very hard to get this clear result, and especially after the last weekend.
Everyone, we have time for 2 more questions with the coach. We'll go to Christian's question. Coach, were there any specific instructions for Carlos Coronel to play more direct long balls, and any comments on the chemistry between Emil and Lewis?
Yeah, our main focus was, and this is what I said, our main focus was to play very clean, very simple, because when you concede 5 goals, then it's for sure we want to play very dominant, and if it's possible to build up every situation. But also on this field, this was not the best field today in Toronto. Then to create your atmosphere, to create positive things on the field, then it's first of all very, very important, especially after the last game, that you play very simple, very clean, clear direction to the goal, and then you can, with more confidence than in our build-up situation, then you can create more situations. But I would say that in our build-up situations we had a lot of good moments in our space behavior with both 10s, with Peter as well on the right side, and both strikers every time had to have a good connection, these counter movements, which was very important today. And but it was a clear message to Carlos that we also have to play very simple, very clean today.
And then just the chemistry between Emil and Lewis, the second part of that question.
Yeah, they are what I said is Lewis with his behavior, and also to have these connections then on the left side when Emil comes in between the lines, and then to have these deep runs with Lewis, and that's a good connection. But also with Dante on the other side, then to have these connections. It's good that we both players to have in our starting lineup, and now we have to decide for Saturday.
And we'll finish up with Voss.
And just lastly, Coach, you touched on it. It's very important to get these 3 points, and just for preparing your team for these do-or-die games now in the playoffs, because it has been an issue with this team in the past to get past that first hurdle in the playoff round. So how important is it for your team to be preparing for these do-or-die games in preparation for that kind of scenario come playoff time?
Yeah, every result it's good. Every result it's good to get the confidence back. that you have a feeling in the locker room after the game to come in, to be happy for 3 points. And to be honest, it was not my main part, my main focus. The last days about the playoffs or something like that for me was, and for everyone was very tough the last days because of the result against New York City. And this was, to be honest, for me more important to see the reaction, to see our principles in the game. And the last game against New York City, it was not a game because it was after 7 minutes 2-0, then 3-1, and it was a little bit weird, this game. And this was my main part, our clear communication on Sunday with every single player, then on Monday to have this team meeting, only to have the focus how we can win this game and how we can win during the game, our duels, our sprints, to play clean in our passes, not to think about what can happen after the game, after today, Toronto. This was the main part, and not to talk too much about the playoffs or something like that, because it was hard. It was very hard, and it was what we have seen the last days, and what we felt also. And this is necessary when you lost 5-1 in your home stadium. Then it feels terrible. And this is then the big reaction, what you need, but not for the playoffs or do or die game or something like that, only to get, okay, what do we need to get 3 points? And this was for me the main part today, very clear to have this situation. And for sure, now we are happy. We are happy now for these 3 points, and that's not necessary now to think about playoffs or something like that. No, I know now, I think I heard about we are now in top 7. In the table, but yeah, that's good. I said also in the locker room, congratulations for that. But for me, as a head coach, to have more the focus, to have this reaction after the game, this was my main part and main message to the guys.